Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from New Jersey, Mr. Van Drew, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, to discuss what Mr. Swalwell was saying, let's really go back to what actually did happen. There was a discussion of whether we would have a Pledge of Allegiance to the flag before we began the committee meeting. And it also, we should take note, in the previous committee, 2 years before, they voted it down. They didn't want to have the Pledge of Allegiance. This time, it would have been embarrassing if they voted it or tried to vote it down again because we had the numbers. It was that simple. It was unbelievable. I don't know how we ever even got into a discussion or an argument about it, but guess what? Most Americans, most legislators, most good people think you should stand up, put your hand on your heart, and pledge to the flag, and that's what you were arguing about. Second, if you want to speak about what's going on at the border and how many people have been arrested or not arrested, Republicans have always honored the individuals who service the Border Patrol, us on the Border Patrol. They do not honor, quite frankly, what most of the Democrats believe in, which is catch and release. So you catch somebody and then you release them. That's not catching them. That's not making it safer. And the fact that there were a lot of gotaways. Now, you remember, Mr. Swalwell, oh, that's right. You guys didn't go at all to the committee hearing, not one person, I forgot. You weren't there. We were there out to midnight just looking at what was going on. We saw the cartel, we saw what was the kind of activities that are occurring and the problems we have. You know what Americans wanted? We all talked, we went back home. Americans want to hear what we are going to do about crime in the cities and elsewhere. You know what Americans want to hear? They want to know about weaponizing of the FBI and other agencies. You know what Americans want to hear? They want to know where our freedoms are, that parents cannot be involved with their students and what they're learning and are learning things that are quite reprehensible and most parents do not want, but they were punished for getting involved, again, by these agencies.
Would the gentleman yield?
If you want to, I just want to, no, I will not yield. I want to finish this up.
This is a point of order. We didn't say the Pledge of Allegiance today. If you want to do it, we should do it because that's what you guys
and
are.
at some point, I'm sure that we will. But the bottom
We should do that if we
is,
agreed to do that, though, right?
The bottom line is we did agree to do it, and it's the philosophical notion of whether you should do it or not, or whether you got right into a meeting and didn't do it. That's the thing.
But it wasn't a stunt.
2 years before, you voted that it should never be done, period. The fear that's here is the fear of finding the truth. The fear that's here is digging in, getting to what the real truth is, and finding out what's really happened over the last 2 years. I've heard the word bipartisanship more times today in this chamber than I have heard, I think in going on my third term, than I've ever heard. All of a sudden, we're all Mr. Bipartisan. It sure wasn't bipartisan, I can tell you what, in the last term, not even close. So it's about time we dig down, dig in, find the truth, and don't be afraid. And I yield back to my friend, Mr. Johnson in Louisiana.